everybody, I'm Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
And we are here at the beautiful clubhouse, home of Joe and Ann Cipriano, to talk about their incredible book, Living on Air. Are you excited, Chuck?
I'm unbelievably excited. Let's talk to them right now.
Hi, you guys.
How's
It's
it
good
going,
to
guys?
see you.
Yay! We got Chuck
Put
and
it there.
Stacey.
Put it there.
Chuck and Stacey
Yeah,
in the
put it there, Ann.
house.
Yes,
in the house.
yes.
Wow.
Hello.
And I have to say that Ann looks absolutely
Stunning.
fabulous.
Thank you, Haley.
Holy Toledo.
Yes, thank you. Haley.
Wow, wow,
Haley.
woo. Let's go. Let's
Thanks
talk.
for letting us invade your home.
Welcome to the
Anytime.
clubhouse.
Let's talk
Yes.
about this beautiful book that you've written.
Thank you.
It's just beautiful. What inspired you to write this book together?
It really was an idea that Joe came up with. He's always looking for something for us to do together, which is great, which is nice. And he'd have one idea, another idea, and I'd say, oh, I don't know, yeah, that sounds all right, but I'm not into it. And then he said, what about if we wrote a book together? And I come from a news writing background, so I thought, yes, I would like to do that. So that's what got us started thinking about it. And
That
then
was the seed.
That was
Yeah,
the
it was,
seed.
yeah.
That was the seed.
And you know, I've been asked so many times about, how do you get into voiceover? How did you get into broadcasting? How did you transition from radio into voiceover? And I thought, I can take all of these stories and we can bring them together.
Right.
And, Ann she's an Emmy award-winning writer, producer, news writer. And so it was, a good combo.
That's a
we had
good co-writer.
Yeah.
You've got a successful thing. You only go with the best. I would say.
Exactly.
But there are voiceover books out there, how-to books, and they're
Yeah.
really good. They're
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah.
we thought, well, we have to do something a little bit different to differentiate it. So that's why it's written more like a story.
Right.
Joe's story, more like it's a memoir. So
Yeah.
that's why it's a little different in that
Yeah.
way.
Well,
and not
speaking-
only that, there are
Okay.
secret ingredients that you talk about in this book that are basically essential for success. And that's what I loved about it. That
Oh,
it
that's
wasn't your
cool.
typical, book about, hey, how do I do voiceovers?
Right.
It's way deeper than that. And I
Oh,
really
cool.
love what you
Oh,
did. You
thank
guys
you.
got to
Deep,
read
Yeah,
this.
honey,
deep.
deep.
No,
Yeah.
because if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
really, because it's very anecdotal, and so when you read these stories, which so many of them made me cry, and I told you, but you get a sense of your heart and your faith and your persistence, and you're just don't give up no matter what.
Yeah.
And so if you're really reading the stories and that comes out without
Right.
saying step one, do this, do that, you get that
Exactly.
through your experience.
Because there are so many, as we said, there's so many how-to books, and this you kind of get from the story itself.
Yeah.
And really, it's all about believing in yourself. There's no shortage of people when you tell somebody what your dream is
Yeah.
that
Right.
there people will say, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah.
There's already people doing that.
Absolutely.
You have to believe in yourself, work on your skills, gain that confidence in your skills, and then you've got it
And
made.
Joe
you know?
is just a touch, you know him pretty well.
We know him very well.
He's a touch ambitious.
Oh.
He doesn't sit still.
He's a Virgo. Right
Hey,
on,
right
Joe.
on.
Woo!
Hey, Joe, is there a little story from the book that you care to share with all of us really quickly?
Let's hear.
let's
Give us a little-
cozy up now for a little story.
Turn on the
preview.
fireplace.
Well, it was really fun to go back and recreate the early days of Top 40 radio when I started, back when I was a kid, hanging around 14 years old, and that was 1969. So Ann and I spent a lot of time, kind of going back into that era and recreating it and bringing the reader into it. We did it. We listened to music from 1969 while we were, writing it. So that was really fun. I think, one of the interesting stories or funny stories from the book is that I was working on the air using the name Tom Collins. And everybody, I have so many different names throughout this book. And I started working at another radio station in Connecticut where the signal crossed over,
Yeah.
so I had to use a different name. I was working at, this one is Tom Collins, so I was working in Hartford as Dave Donovan. There was an opening at the number 7 market in the country, Washington, D.C. I sent in a tape. I sent in my Tom Collins tape. I got a call. He said, Gordon Peele from NBC in Washington, we really like this tape, Tom. Do you have another tape that shows some personality, more personality? I go, yeah, I work at another station. I'll send you that tape. Send him the tape. About 2 weeks later, I get a call. Tom Collins at WWCO. Tom, it's Gordon Peele from NBC. I just want to let you know we really like your tape. We've narrowed it down to 3 people, and you're one of them. Congratulations. I was like, holy cow. And 15, 20 minutes later, I get a call from the station in Hartford saying, Dave, you have a call here from NBC. And I go, wow, maybe they need me, they want me to come down now or something. So I called the number. I said, hey, Gordon, you left a message for me at DRC. Yes, Dave Donovan, DRC. Listen, Dave, we love your tape, and we've narrowed it down to 3 people, and you're one of them.
That is
I just
so
spoke to you.
I love it.
funny.
You're Tom and Dave, so
Yeah.
I was 2
Yeah,
of,
I am.
the 3.
2 out of 3. Those
It
are
would have
great
been.
odds.
It would have been
Those are great odds.
spectacular if you were 3 of them.
I know. If
But
only I
see,
could.
that
See, I
would've
wasn't
It's like,
ambitious
I mean, you
enough.
could have a whole reality show based on that.
No, but what a great tip. Change your name.
Change your
so
name.
when you get put on the short list, you're 2 out of the 3
Right,
people
exactly.
or 5 people.
During the time that you guys were spent together writing Living on Air, did you learn anything about each other?
Interesting.
All right, you
Did
go first.
Well, you know what? I think I relearned something because Anne retired from writing and all of that when we had
Yeah.
our kids. But I know that she's a great writer. So what was really wonderful was to see how good she really is, because the way we worked, I call it data dump, and I would write
Yeah.
a chapter and just get it all down, and then I'd work on it and then send it to her. She would work on it and it would come back to me and it'd be like, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And now it's time for me to put in more color and
Yeah,
work
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
and
yeah.
then send it back to her. So I think what I learned about her, I already knew, but that she's really an excellent writer, and it was a lot of fun working.
That's fantastic.
Okay, well, that was so nice, so now I can't say what I was going to say.
Yes, you
Why
can.
not?
You could say.
Why not? It doesn't have
All
to
right.
be nice.
Well, first of all, I did find out what an excellent writer you are as well.
See that? There you go.
But there is something else I learned. I need to work in quiet. It's all quiet. I have to think. I have to be able to walk around and all that. And Joe works with more noise. And so we could never be in the same room working at the same time.
Right.
But there were a few times towards the end where we were in the same room throwing things back and forth. And I realized he would say something. He'd say something like ask a question. And I'd answer, and then I realized he's not talking to me. He's talking to himself. So I discovered that
He has
that
voices in his
talks
head.
to
That he
I wonder
talks
why
to
she's
himself.
telling a story like this. I don't understand.
Well,
why
he
she's
is.
talking.
He did have multiple names
yeah.
early in
God,
his
I do
career.
that.
Then he's the guy with no name. So,
Wow.
he's multiple
I
personalities.
didn't realize. I talked to myself.
Yeah,
Well, we do talk to our dog.
We
as
do,
well,
and the-
our dog
and the dog talks back to
so
us.
Hey,
That's a
I'm all
thing.
about that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
could be
It's a
part of the
problem there. Yeah.
Who should read this book?
Well,
Well, everyone.
everyone
Everyone, really. There's something for everyone.
the nice thing is, you can relate to it if you worked in radio, if you are in radio, if you do voiceovers. There's so much relatable, but a lot of the things that we talk about and what we were just talking about,
Yeah.
about whatever it is that you're going after, you have to go after it 100%, and you can't listen to the naysayers and believe in yourself and keep working at it. There are kind of tricks, to
Yeah.
become a success that you can use in any field, in anywhere. where you
Absolutely,
work.
man.
And I do think that the tipping point, you can be, take all the classes and,
Yep.
and all of that. It's once you get that certain confidence about you.
Yeah.
When you're confident, people feel that when you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
into a room. And I think it's not arrogance. It's just knowing that I can do this. I know
Yeah.
I can do this. And when you go in and you audition or you're meeting casting people or producers, boom.
Absolutely.
And I
Ease.
know,
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
Joe said to be positive, but a lot of people think that Joe has just had the career that's just up and up and up and smooth sailing and no problems, no bumps, no nothing. Everything's been great. But like anybody else,
Sure,
he's
yeah.
hit those down times.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, when he hit the down times, he just doesn't give up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when
And-
you
Well, and I
redouble.
love that
Yeah.
you put those moments in the book when you were unemployed and how
Mm-hmm.
you rallied behind him. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think that's really beautiful to show that it, like you said, there are ebbs and flows and that it's not
Exactly.
just all sunny. And you're really,
Yep.
it's
Right.
so brutally honest, and I love it. We love you guys.
Thank
how
you,
can
guys.
people?
Love you guys.
How can people get this book?
Oh, well, you can, if you want it for Kindle or Nook or, for your iPad, you can go to iTunes, Nook, Barnes & Noble. You can buy it at Amazon.com.
Beautiful.
If you want to have, we're, still autographing books, and I
Yeah.
love doing that.
Yeah.
And if you go to livingonairbook.com, autograph the book, personal
Wow.
note, send it out.
Awesome. And
yeah.
you guys are going to be all over the place doing things. So also go to Twitter, Living on Air Book, and follow them there and see where they're going to be next.
Absolutely. So stop whatever you're doing right now, okay? Go online, pick this thing up right now. You
There
will
are
not
mugs.
be sorry. Do
Wait,
it now.
There's money.
There's t-shirts.
Do it now.
Do it.
Save yourselves.